Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another video, and this is the second customary video of the year. I do one every Diwali, I do one every Christmas. I missed last year. And before I go further up into the video, I'd like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. I'm hoping you're having a brilliant Christmas with your friends, your family, and your dear ones. And if you've followed me for a long time, you would know that Christmas also happens to be my birthday. So celebrating my birthday in style with you all. And before I go into the video, I'd just like to say many thanks from the bottom of my heart. You've been so gracious, so full of praise for my videos. You've supported me so generously. Absolutely grateful, thankful for every bit of support you've given me. Thank you. So let's get started. Now, I did a video about 6 years ago in 2018, summer I believe, which was basically 10 niche fragrances for life. So I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and do another iteration of that video after six and a half years. And what I did was I did not look at that video. I'll put a link excuse me, to that video at the end of this video, so you can go and check it out. Check out how much my tastes have evolved. But to me, I thought I'll do a fresh take on that concept. That concept of, if you were to choose 10 fragrances which are all niche from your collection, then which ones would you really choose? And you only get 10. You only get to choose 10. So I think it's a great idea because it forces you to focus and you pick 10. So that's what I did. It was a hard one. And I had to think about this one all day, yesterday as well. So I actually went for fragrances that actually make me connect to myself. Those fragrances make me there's an emotional connection that I have to these fragrances that I picked. They make me feel various beautiful emotions. And that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to relay to you what these fragrances do for me. All right? So before we get in the video, go and get a drink because this is Christmas. And I've got a drink here. What am I drinking? I am drinking Amber Ale. British Amber Ale. What else? Let's have a drink. Cheers. Cheers, cheers, cheers. If you've never tried Amber Ale, you must. English Amber Ale. Absolutely fabulous drink. Love it. So, let's start. What I'm going to do is, as I said, the 3 fragrances that are not reviewed in this list, and when I get to those fragrances, the last 3, I'll tell you. So let's start. Let's start with the fragrance which has done a full 360 for me. Because of what I did when I reviewed that fragrance. It's a terrific fragrance. It's one of the most amazing incense fragrances. It is Comme de Garcons to Man. So when I reviewed this fragrance, I was talking about how it transports me to a religious place. And I showed Notre Dame. I reviewed it 6 years ago, when Notre Dame was all fit and fine, and then that tragedy happened. And this whole resurrection of Notre Dame is absolutely stunning. And they brought Notre Dame back to life. It's spectacular. And it made me think that maybe there's this moral of the story, human endeavor. Nothing is impossible. And they've restored this 1,000-year-old Gothic church to its glory, probably even made it better. It's miraculous. And this fragrance, is like that. It's just so beautiful. This is liturgical incense, and it has woods and it has freshness as well. So it's just taking woods, incense, smoke, liturgical incense, and lighter notes like kumquat and mint and the yin and yang, the opposites, and making them play. And what it does to your mind is it takes you to a journey, to a place. As I said, it took me to Notre Dame. It takes me to a service. It takes me to the emotion of devotion, you know, how thousands and, I mean, millions and billions of people are totally swayed by the emotion of devotion, yeah, to their favorite gods. It's a very pure emotion. Obviously, center to all of that is love. And just like, as I said before in one of my reviews, you know, love is the fabric of the universe. It ties humans and everything together. You know, take love out of humanity, the opposite of love takes hold. And this beautiful fragrance is just a sort of a confirmation of that emotion. You feel beautiful, you feel sanguine, you feel quiet and calm and sort of lifted up. There's a lift you get when you wear this fragrance. To Man by Comme de Garcons. Could not recommend this enough. It's beautiful. It's an incense fragrance with woody, lighter notes. There's also leather. It's just superb. Next on my list is a fragrance. This fragrance got me one of the most amazing compliments from my co-worker. And she basically, when she smelled this on me early in the morning, she told me, "Oh, you smell like an absolute prince." So it's the most beautiful compliment I've ever received. It is 1725 by Histoires de Parfums. This house, I have a huge amount of respect for this house. This fragrance is absolutely beautiful. So imagine how I feel. I feel as if I'm sitting on top of a massive mountain, looking down on a beautiful, lush green valley. I'm soaking in the sun. I'm soaking beautiful breeze, gentle breeze blowing, fantastic meadow flowers. It's just a little beautiful river flowing through that valley. That's how I feel. It's a grand landscape. This is lavender combined with vanilla and licorice, the freshness. So lavender, the herbal greenness, the freshness with licorice, the woody freshness and the warmth of vanilla. Just like sunlight on a beautiful valley. That's how I feel. It's terrific. It's an enormously uplifting, absolutely beautifully well made fragrance. Amazing fragrance for spring. Absolutely amazing. As I said, all of these are reviewed. You can check out. And I'm going to just... This is creme de la creme of the niche collection that I have. Next on my list is an oud fragrance. Oud has a reputation. It has skank. It has a barnyardy smell. It can be very off-putting and very challenging. I get affected by all of those qualities. I don't want to smell anything which is stinky. And this one does oud in the Western way. And one of the most beautifully executed oud fragrances out there. Love this one. It is Acqua di Parma, Colonia oud. Now this is not only oud, but a very rich, lush new leather. Combined with, this is Italian style, so tons of cologne style citruses and woods and greenness and freshness, and then this rich oud sandalwood leather. Absolutely amazing. It's like sitting down and reading or watching one of the most amazing movies you've ever watched and just getting enthralled by it. This is a show. It's a spectacle. I love this one. Absolutely amazing. Next on my list is a sandalwood fragrance. And sandalwood fragrances, you know, I've spent a significant amount of time looking for sandalwood fragrances. Especially those sandalwood fragrances that are like Mysore sandalwood. And it's a waste of time because you cannot replicate nature. So I gave up. I focused on sandalwood fragrances that had interesting notes and made the fragrance even more enjoyable. If I want sandalwood, I'll just put on Mysore sandalwood oil and enjoy just the soliflor because it's just unreplicatable, you know, especially the Mysore sandalwood. Now the next one I'm going to show you is a sandalwood fragrance with spices and woods. It's a terrific fragrance and fruits as well. It's, I think, discontinued now, but still hoping that you can find this. It's my personal favorite. It is L'Enfant Terrible by Jovoy. Now this fragrance is about a fantastic fruity rich sandalwood with a sour plum and superb musk and cedar combination and dates, the Middle Eastern dates, the fruit, and along with that is this pun, almost a disturbance of cinnamon, lot of cinnamon, sorry, of cumin, and that's why it's called L'Enfant Terrible. It's like this infant, really naughty kid who's running around the house creating absolute racket. And that's what the idea is. And that's very enjoyable because in a way, a child who is like that normally is going to be absolute fun to have around. So it is absolutely beautiful. The cumin, for me at least, doesn't play havoc on my skin. So I love this fragrance. But if cumin behaves badly on your skin, then you might want to test this out. Sandalwood is absolutely glorious. And I also get a little hint of rose petals when I smell this. This fragrance never ceases to impress me. It is absolutely fantastic, this fragrance. So, and I like sandalwood quite a lot. So I enjoy that richness of this scent. Next fragrance on my list is a fragrance. This is an Amouage, and it's very un-Amouage like Amouage. And when I reviewed it, very few people, I realized, had reviewed this fragrance. So I basically made this fragrance very, very popular on YouTube at least. And this one is Astana. This is again Amouage Dia Man. Now Dia Man uses the same note of plum with vetiver. And there's sandalwood, there's peony, there's acidic, aldehydic nature to this fragrance, there's smoke here. It is an experience. It's beautiful. It's creamy, smoky vetiver, to put it simply, with a fruity element. And the floral note of peony is anchoring all the other notes. So it's absolutely magical, this fragrance. And it is, I always think about this fragrance as a sage. You know, when you come in contact with a very highly learned person, very nice human being, and they speak to you and you speak to them, they touch you in every possible way, and you think, wow, this is what, you know, sort of amazing company means, you know, learned company. You get enriched. This fragrance has this enriching quality. Every time you put it on, you feel elevated. You feel amazing, you know. And so many people have come back and told me that this is one of the finest fragrances they've ever smelled. And this is not your butch, smoky fragrant Amouage that slaps you on the face and keeps slapping you all day. No, this is a very genteel kind of a fragrance. It doesn't project a lot. It lasts a decent amount of time. It's not a beast mode fragrance. It's a beautiful fragrance. It's a symphony on your wrist. Love this fragrance. Dia Man by Amouage. Next on my list is a fragrance which I recently reviewed. It is after one of the most celebrated American authors, and it is called 1899 Hemingway by Histoires de Parfums. 1899 is a symphony. It's a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. It's centered around a note of cinnamon, which along with other notes creates a feeling of tobacco. And it also has fantastic company of bergamot and juniper. It is inspired by Hemingway. Hemingway was a big fan of gin. That's why they've included juniper. And it's just a terrific, terrific fragrance, which is fruity, fizzy, spicy tobacco scent. It smells tobacco, like tobacco. I've done a full review, but this sensational experience, it's like a symphony. It's absolute, it serenades you. And the weather has to be a little bit warm, not too cold, and it just takes you on a journey. Absolutely beautiful. It's spectacular, this fragrance. 1899. And there are many, many very, very good sweet tobacco fragrances. Try this one. This is not very sweet, but still sweet. Next on my list is a fragrance which is my scent of the day. And this is a fragrance which basically summarizes my ethos, my philosophy of life. And let me show you the fragrance first. This is Roja's Oligarch. Now, Oligarch, people, it means different to different people, okay? So let me have another spray. So Oligarch, the name says it all, man. This is about luxury. Imagine you at the height of your prowess, the height of success, how would you live? This is what this fragrance does to me. It constantly reminds me of what I can achieve by my own hard work, my own willpower. This is a very inspiring fragrance. It's got 25 odd notes. It's a chypre, and chypre fragrances signify a very strong-willed person. Chypres traditionally have been slightly old-fashioned. They are very expensive to make because they have many notes and layers. They have a lot of complexity. And when you smell a chypre, you forget everything else. If you're a big fan of complex multi-layered fragrances, if you don't mind smelling a little bit old school, because it has a lot of oak moss, it has traditional notes like patchouli, lavender, it also has sometimes tonka, it'll have coumarin. Those are the notes which forces a fragrance to smell a little classical. You smell Oligarch and you'll realize what is luxury, what is classic French perfumery. And to me, this fragrance, my ethos is work seriously hard every single day. Do not rest. Do not get laxed about your goals. Have crazy big goals. These are this is my way of living. I live my life like that. And I put in enormous amounts of effort towards my goals. And this fragrance is exactly that. You put in a lot of effort towards a well-conceived goal. Something beautiful will happen. And Oligarch is exactly like that. It's a beautiful creation. It is stunning. I'm getting blackcurrant, like proper fruity blackcurrant and strawberries, and wow. Done a full review. Check it out. I mean, Oligarch is an unbeatable fragrance. Let's have a little bit more beer. Christmas is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? I'm hoping you had a fantastic Christmas. So, last three left. Next fragrance is from a house which I have talked about on enormous number of occasions, but I haven't reviewed anything from their house yet. I will be. And this fragrance is on a different level. Imagine yourself sitting on a little hill, somewhere where it's relatively warm. So it's a green, lush valley, sun is shining, and just beautiful air, a little warm, and then there's wild horses roaming around. It's a very free-spirited fragrance. That's where it takes me, this fragrance. So the fragrance is Etruscan Water, and by Francesca Bianchi. So Etruscan Water, wow. What a fragrance this is. This is camphorous. That's why probably I like it. There's immortelle, note of immortelle, not for everyone. And then there's amber, there's musk, very nice musk, and oak moss. So it's green, it's warm, it's a chypre. It has sunniness about it. It's a little bit sunny, it's fizzy. It's also herbal, all at the same time. As I said, Etruscan society was Lower Tuscany, and that's why I said, the Italians have that flair, especially the people from the Tuscany region, that flair about themselves. I like the flair of the scent. It's very free-spirited, very adventurous. Nothing can stop this fragrance. Absolutely unstoppable kind of a personality. Love this. Etruscan Water. I will be reviewing this very, very soon. It's a very special scent. I am totally enamored by this fragrance. I absolutely love masculine fragrances and chypres. This is doing both for me. Terrific fragrance. Next on my list is a time machine. Next to the time machines. Both are amber fragrances. And amber has a very special place in Eastern philosophy. So when I put this fragrance on, it takes me to the darbar of the Mughal Empire. The Eastern, arts, if you like. The Mughals absolutely, created monumental monuments like the Taj Mahal and their forts and their palaces. It takes me to a Mughal palace. Absolutely, So the first one I'm going to show you is Ambre Sultan. by Serge Lutens. Now this one, unfortunately, I've heard, I've not tried it, that the new formulation isn't anywhere near the beauty of this fragrance. But let me tell you what this is. This is Eastern style, deep, rich, non-sugary amber. Very, very rich and very strong and multi-layered. And it just creates an enormous sort of emotion, surge of emotions in you when you wear this fragrance. And as I said, it's a time machine. I feel I'm sitting in audience of a Mughal Sultan in his courtyard, in a special audience, which used to be known as the Divan-e Khas. So Divan-e Am is basically means the audience for everyone, and then Divan-e Khas means audience for only special friends. And it used to be segregated from Divan-e Am. And if you go to these Mughal palaces and you just sit there, all the buildings normally start with red sandstone. And then you move towards the special buildings and you can see it will be marble, inlaid with intricate artworks. And this is what happens to me when I put this on. I move from Divan-e Am to Divan-e Khas, and just the emotion I feel when I wear this fragrance is absolutely otherworldly. I cannot explain to you how beautiful and rich this fragrance is. So let me give you some options in case you don't find the vintage version. This is a very, very good improvisation. I wouldn't even call it a clone because this is absolutely terrific by Armaf. I recently did a video on affordable fragrances, and this one by Armaf, Niche Oud, is a very good copy of this. I wouldn't say copy, but an inspiration. You will get the full experience of what an oriental style amber, I was going to say oud, amber can do, with multiple layers, complexity, developments and all that stuff. Worth its weight in gold. Get it when you can, okay, while you can. So if you can't, if you don't want to get an Armaf because your mind wouldn't allow you to, the snob in you just races to the top, then you can try another fragrance. And this one is absolutely stunning fragrance. This is Guerlain Shalimar Eau de Parfum. Because of me, thousands and thousands of men have started wearing Shalimar. I brought Shalimar to the limelight way back 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Wear this. This is vanilla based and a Opoponax myrrh based sort of amber experience with many facets. It'll take you to Shalimar. Shalimar was made by the second or third Mughal king in Lahore. It's behind, that's the name, Shalimar Gardens. And I can't remember if it was Jahangir or Shah Jahan that made the Shalimar Gardens. I think it was Shah Jahan. So I'm confusing here. Shah Jahan is the same person who made Taj Mahal. So Shalimar, highly recommend this if you do not or can't find Ambre Sultan. Last on the list is Akkad. Now Akkad, I have to review this. This is another level. So Akkad by Lubin. If Ambre Sultan is an audience with a sort of a Mughal culture, this is you becoming some sort of a Mughal prince. Oh, the richness, the beauty, the complexity, the absolute exhilarating experience of wearing Akkad. It cannot be summarized in words. I'm going to review these fragrances very soon because I have to. I've had this in my collection for more than 3 years. This is smoky, so it has a tremendous note of olibanum. And I wouldn't go too much into notes because I'm going to confine this video to emotions, how I feel. So as I said, this is like being some sort of a very wealthy nobleman in the medieval times in the Eastern society. Most probably, because I know the Mughal culture very well, most probably a Mughal and sitting, in your beautiful garden, marveling the gifts of nature. I love this fragrance. Absolutely amazing, I've got to do a review anyway, but this was the last one in the list. So Akkad by Lubin. What a fragrance. So I'm hoping you really enjoyed this video, and if you did, do give it a like. I'm hoping you're having a great time, and thank you once again for your support. Take care. Bye bye.